boy Blue Jay Tay. I'm back again with another mental health check-in. This is episode 11, I believe. Thank God to be here. Yeah, man, but first things first, how everybody doing? What's going on? What's going on with y'all, man? What's going on with y'all tonight? Couple things I want to talk about with y'all. What's going on? All right, let me dive in. Let me give y'all a quick little rundown of what's been going on with me. So, yeah, man, I feel good. I'm blessed. I'm very thankful to be here. Y'all already know I do these mental health check-ins roughly, well, now once a month. It used to be every week, but I got busier, obviously trying to get myself to that different stage of my life, trying to really grow and expand. But I definitely like to do these as much as I possibly can. For anybody that's new watching, I appreciate the support. I love y'all from beginning to end. I've been on this journey roughly now for a little bit over a year, and I'm grinding, man. I'm locked in. It is what it is. But one of the first things that I want to touch up on is just how important it is to just find that internal peace within yourself. And I feel like this takes so many people. Some people may not even ever get to that point within themselves where they're actually content with who they are, where they actually wake up every day and feel at peace inside, not that form of chaos. Because truth be told, a lot of it has nothing to do with how much money you make. We see celebrities, we see wealthy people, we see the most successful people ever talk about how money is not everything. Some people believe that money is the root of all evil, that's subjective, but depending on who you are, I'm somebody that definitely believes that there's much more to life than just some form of currency. Hey, what's going on with y'all, man? What's going on? I can barely see the comments, but I'm gonna try to peep real quick. It's been a little minute, man. How y'all doing? What's up, Lexi? What's up? I'm verified. What's going on with you? He said, I mean, like, that is kind of right. I mean, like, people kind of use money for things they're going crazy over, cash ability of money, if they really want to use it about the things they care. What's going on, Mina? How you doing? What's going on? What's up with y'all, man? But yeah, man, I just feel like it's so important that we find that internal peace within ourselves. So many times in life, people set their focus on acquiring so many forms of, money, whether it's wealth, whether it's just assets. But recently, I've really been getting in touch with my true self. I've been getting in touch with the things that actually matter in life, aside from money. And, I was raised in a family of poverty. I was raised in a family that didn't really have much. But, man, I just been learning to appreciate each and everything that I have, to really cherish, not more than money, more focusing on, my family, focusing on the loved ones, focusing on everything that really matters to me. What's going on, Brandon? What's going on, man? How everybody feeling? Mina Jones said, do you believe in God? Come on. You don't see the cross I got? I definitely believe in God. But one thing I will say is I'm not one of them people that judge the next person based on what they do or do not believe in. I was raised in a family that was spiritual. Thank God for that. So that's just my personal belief. I'm Christian for anybody that is curious. But on my channel, more importantly, not even more importantly, but I focus on just life, just growth in general. That's where my head's at. Whether it's spiritual, whether it's mental, whether it's physical, I just want to grow. I want everybody that tune in with my videos, we all just got to grow. We got to exceed limitations that's put on us. the world that we live in with the chaos and everything that's going on, my main job here is just to see everybody elevate and everybody grow. When I get them comments under my videos and somebody texting me about, a midlife crisis or something that they're going through, my job is to do my best based on my past and my personal experiences to give them some type of insight so that they can elevate and so that they can grow. So, that's what I do. Um, uh, Hayden said, "Hey, bro, and God bless you and your family." I appreciate you, man. God bless you and your family, too. I hope all is well over there. Hope y'all taking care of yourselves. Much blessings and much love to y'all. I appreciate the support, too. Brandon said, exactly, like people always use money for things that they want to surprise their girlfriend with money, Lamborghinis, jewelry, cash, things that people really don't realize that it's just crazy. Yeah, I agree. There's much more to life than just materialistic items. It's kind of one of them things where everything is appealing to us if we do not have it. Just think about anything that you may have conquered, worked your way up to, or built in this type of lifetime, right? Once you do get it, once you do get your first car, once you do get your first house, once you do get your first anything, that feeling almost instantly goes away. That desire that you had before, it's almost like it's not as special or it's not as valuable anymore once you conquer it. And that feeling alone should tell you a lot about anything, because really it doesn't matter about how much money you have. That same concept applies to literally anything in life. So I just feel like people overlook that. I feel like people definitely overlook that. Sherry Rinker said, "How are you?" I'm very blessed. I appreciate that, Sherry. How are you doing? How are you doing tonight, man? But yeah, I just think it's very important that we be thankful for where we're at. I feel like so many times in life, our mind can be so set forth on the future and where we want to be and what we want to become that we don't even appreciate the process. Like, I'm so thankful that I'm able to struggle today. I'm so thankful that I'm able to think and just to live with my thoughts and everything that's going on in my life, because my problems is going to be totally different than your guys' problems that's in the comments or anybody around the world. And I feel like that's just what makes us all unique. So I just been focusing more on being thankful more than anything. Sherry said, "Happy Easter." I appreciate you. Happy Easter, man. Much love, much love. And I appreciate all the support from y'all too. Y'all know I drop my videos for sure at least 4 or 5 times a week. Everybody that comment on my videos, that like, that share it, we a family, and I just want to say thank you so much. And I appreciate all of the support from the bottom of my heart, truly. Brendan said, exactly, like they're supposed to worship God. I mean, like, people don't think, they just think about money. Yeah, it totally depends what you prioritize. I'm not somebody that prioritizes anything like materialistic and money. Like, I understand that we need money to live and we need money to survive. But, even once you do get money, you realize that, I'm still missing something. And that's exactly how it was for me. When I finally got my hands on some money where I felt like I was doing good, you still feel empty inside, because it takes away from surface level problems that you may have, thought money would solve. Now you realize you got depression. Now you realize that you have anxiety. Now you realize that there's so much and so many other things that you have to, fix within yourself. So yeah, there's much more to the world than money, for sure. But yeah, man, I just been setting my focus on being thankful, just appreciating where I'm at, with everything that comes with today, whether it's a good or bad day. I'm still here, I'm still breathing, and I just feel like we really do have to show that sense of gratitude for each day that we wake up and we can actually become the best versions of ourselves. I lost, and I'm not saying this to, make it a sad story, because, it happens to all of us, but I lost my granddad this year, and it really opened my eyes up to trying my best to live each and every day like it's my last day, doing the things that make me happy, spending time with my loved ones, spending time with, people that I actually value and that actually value me, not wasting my time. So yeah, it's just much more to life than money, man. For sure, for sure. But what y'all got going on? How everybody doing? And another thing that I think that so many people don't realize too in the moment is that you're doing better than you believe that you are. I don't think when we go through certain things that a lot of people take themselves out of that position where they may be overthinking or where they may just be feeling like they're a failure. They don't think about how far they've came. Like that's something that we really got to do. We got to take ourselves out of our shoes and realize that, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I was not where I'm at today. I may not necessarily be where I want to be, but I'm making progress. As long as that progress is constant and you're steady moving forward, then that's really all that should matter, whether it's small, whether people recognize it or not. You just have to have that faith and see it in yourself. Man, confidence really does go a long way. And we already know that people are going to treat you exactly how you allow them to treat you. So if you're somebody that believes in yourself, if you're someone who's confident and you really have that sense of drive and purpose within yourself, people are naturally going to flock towards that. They're going to be like, okay, this person respects themselves. This person has that sense of confidence. So this is exactly how I'm going to treat them. This ties into love. This ties into anything that you could possibly go through in life. As human beings, for the majority of us, we know better. So if somebody is treating you a certain way or moving a certain way around you, they definitely are fully aware of what they're doing. I really want to hear about y'all though. I want to hear what y'all been up to, man. Cause y'all see my videos every day. So I want to see how everybody else feeling. Where y'all at mentally? What's going on in y'all life? I know it's only a couple people in here right now, but let me know what y'all got going on. Anything that we could elaborate on, man. But as far as my life, man, I've been blessed. Now I've been locked in doing this now for like over a year. Constant though, grinding day in and day out. And I think a lot of people don't understand how much work goes into this simple channel right here with, a couple views from time to time. Like this is probably one of the only things that I've dedicated my full time and attention to. So this is definitely different for me, man. Like I'm somebody that's always kind of tried to do 4 or 5 different things at once, but I switched it up and I was like, let me see how this would go if I dedicate all of my energy to a certain thing. Let me see, what could possibly play out for me. And I learned a lot from it. I learned that you sell yourself short doing too many things at once. I learned that sometimes it's best to focus on one thing. As much as we may want to do, as much as our mind or our body may tell us, do A, B, and C, sometimes we do not have the energy to be doing 10 different things at once, especially if we want to maximize our results. It's okay to focus on one thing at a time, for sure. It is okay. I had to learn that the hard way. I definitely had to learn that the hard way, man. But aside from that, man, yeah, I just feel like it's important that we just work on finding that internal peace within ourselves. Money is not going to do it for a lot of people. Being in love is not going to do it for a lot of people. Even having everything that you say that you feel like you want to have in your life is not going to bring you that peace. It's something that you have to discover. It's something that you have to first know who you are deep down inside and know what things make you feel whole. And then you have to conquer it. And I feel like most recently I've been getting to that point within myself. I've been through so many ups and downs throughout this year of having this channel, through breakups, through heartbreaks, through hard times, through struggles, through moving. And, I've always kept myself balanced to the point where I was still able to get up here and speak without any form of bias or without letting my emotions get the best of me. And I just feel like that's what it's all about. Just keeping yourself grounded mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and being able to get through them tough times in life because they happen to any and everybody. That's really one of the things that really keep me going, man, because I know, like, just like I may wake up and have a bad day today, there's somebody out here who went through way worse than I went through. So who would I be to sit and complain about, the problems that I'm dealing with? You know, I lost a grandparent this year. There's some people that lost their mom, or some people that lost their dad, or never even had a mom and a dad. So, man, I just focus more on being thankful. I know that I'm blessed each and every day, whether it's good, bad, whatever it is, for sure. Vanny Green said, "Hello, what's going on? How you doing? How everybody feeling tonight? What y'all got going on, man? Let me know. Let me know." Brandon, you still in here? Lexi, you still in here, Lexi? I'm verified, bro. What's going on? Mina, Hayden, Sherry. What's up with y'all, man? Prundent Creations, what's going on? How everybody doing tonight? How y'all feeling? And this is just a little side note, man, something that I'm just going to speak on lightly. But one of the crazy things about life is because you just never know when that door is going to open for you. Like, I've been in so many positions where I've had doubt, where I may have questioned myself, where I didn't know how something was necessarily going to play out, if I wanted to play out how I wanted it to play out. Y'all know I definitely butchered that, but it's cool. But anyways, man, you just got to see it through. Because you just never know when that door can open for you, and your entire life can change in a split second, for sure. Marco said, "I'm Christian. I do my best to spread the word of God and show love to others, but the enemy of God of this world makes it hard because he's blinding unbelievers." Marcos, you hit that one on the money, man. I definitely agree. And I'm in a similar boat too. I realize that I'm not perfect. I realize that I'm very flawed, but we live in a world where we're surrounded by so many different types of people and energy. A lot of the people and energy are not aligned with what we have going on. So it can be kind of hard and frustrating to stay on track and live according to his word when you have so many different distractions going on. So, man, that's just a way of life. That's why I set my attention and I set my focus on me specifically. I cannot control each and everybody in the world. I cannot control what the next person thinks, how the next person believes and feels. The only thing that I can do is control the energy that I'm putting out. And once you realize how powerful your energy is, then everything else will play out exactly how it's supposed to play out. You can't control everything. My life changed dramatically when I stopped trying to, just be in control of everything and letting things play out exactly how they're supposed to play out, man. Dr. S, Educate and Motivate. He said, "I'm feeling good, bro. I'm just listening to your take on things. I like hearing your perspective, so I follow." Hey, salute you, man. I appreciate the support, man. Much love to all of y'all. Anybody that support me that's been here, y'all already know. Man, we locked in, we a family, and I really do appreciate it. So much love. But yeah, like I was saying, Marcos, like, I just focus more so on the things that I can control. There's so many different type of forces and energy going on around the world, and in reality, we don't have the power to try to change everybody. But one thing we can change is ourselves. We have to be very intentional on the energy that we're putting out, on the words that we're allowing to come out of our mouths, because this is going to be a representation of who we are. And we have to stand and represent something that we want to be represented as. So, that's why I don't get up on my YouTube channel cussing, using provocative languages and saying a bunch of nonsense, just simply because that's not something that I want to be represented as. Am I somebody that cuss from time to time? Most definitely. I'm a human being, but I know my overall image is much more important than me letting my words get the best of myself. So we got to present ourselves in a way that stands for some type of professionalism, and especially if we want to be represented as something that's much bigger than we are, And some people do it. Some people are comfortable getting up here and cussing, but that's just That's just not really my thing, man. I just stick to being who I am. I stick to living according to, the way I was raised, my spirituality, and I just do me, understanding that I'm not perfect. We got to just be in our own lane, be in our own bubble, and focus on the things that we can control. Uh, Strawberry Pump. Hey, what's going on, man? You was finally able to catch one. It's nice to see you in here. How you doing? Hey, that's funny. Yeah, you missed the last, like, I don't know, it's probably been like last three. Doctor, educate, and motivate. You can only control your energy and your mindset. You cannot control people. If people are inspired by something, then they will follow. You have control over your own energy, time, and skills 100%. I definitely agree with that. And, learning that entire concept has really helped me reach that true point of peace within myself. I stopped trying to force everything in my life. I stopped trying to force people to act and, serve a certain purpose in my life. We don't have that much control over the outside things. We do have control over what we allow in our lives, though, whether that's people, whether that's energy, or anything that we're surrounded by. Those are the things that we can control. So that's why I'm very intentional about people that I choose to be in relationships with, people that I choose to entertain, the friends that I have around me. And for a lot of y'all who don't know, to be honest, my circle is just real small. Like, I'm not really too big on having a lot of people around me because I just feel like, a lot of people aren't really here to build. A lot of people do not have your best interest. Not saying that everyone doesn't, but, you know, it's just the way that it is now, man. So, yeah. Strawberry Polka Dot said, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. Yeah, no, you already know. That's so funny. Yeah, you missed like the last like couple lives, man. But it's good to see that you're doing good. Blessings to you and your family. Once again, I appreciate all the support. Man, much love. I'm still here. I've been doing this now for over a year, a little bit over a year. So I ain't even think I'd even, I didn't go into it without any expectations, man. I went into it just with a purpose, and I'm blessed to see that I've even came this far. Y'all know, I'm nowhere near big yet or nothing like that, but I'm thankful for the 7 people that's watching this live right now, because these 7 friends that I ain't have before, or 5 people now. So it's like, man, I just appreciate everything. I'm not somebody to sit around and complain and cry about life and act like it's so miserable and I'm not growing, because I got too much faith in God, man. Like, just the way that he's overcame and made certain things happen for me in my life, I don't think I ever doubt him ever. So I know his plan is his plan, and I just leave it at that as far as me. But yeah, man, I really been working on myself. I really been doing the deep work. I really been trying to break old habits. I really been putting the focus on my version of what being at peace is. And life's been real good. Life's been real good doing that. I've been working on myself. I've been fasting lately. I've been just taking care of everything that I need to take care of. Dr. S. Educate and Motivate, he said, good point. I think we also have to realize that people are not supposed to be happy for us or have to support us. People don't owe us anything. Our success is our responsibility. 100%. And all that message means to me is just accountability. It's huge, which so many people lack these days. And I feel like it just comes with that level of maturity as you grow older and you become more wiser. But I 100% agree with that. That's facts. A lot of people do make others responsible for their lives, And what this ends up doing at some point is it'll just catch up to you when you realize that, everybody that you may have misused or taken advantage of or blamed for that lack of accountability, you realize that, now it's on me. And I've witnessed this happen to so many people firsthand, even in my inner circle. But, one day people are going to have to wake up, and I'm not fond of babying anybody. Nobody should be coddled. We're all grown adults, so we should all be held to a certain standard, no matter who you are. That's how my grandma raised me. So therefore, We got to start acting like it, you know? I know for a lot of y'all that's been watching my videos, I don't sit on here and try to baby nobody through nothing. I speak more on accountability than anything else, probably in any of my other videos. To me, it's all about your reflection, the image that you're putting out and what you're going to do to make that change. Not about who's going to help you, not about, you know, the people that you can use or exploit to try to get yourself to that next level. No, it's all about you. It's all about what you're going to do, the decisions that you're going to make, the things that you're going to sacrifice, not the people that you're going to use. Nah, not at all, man. But one thing that you said, Dr. S. Educate, that was huge, is I used to actually be very bothered when I realized that people were not happy to see me reach certain goals. That's something that used to break me down so much, man, because you can have people in your life that say they love you, that say they care about you, people that's been around for decades. And when you start growing and expanding, you realize that there's a lack of support. And I used to take this so personal. I used to feel like, am I the problem? Am I doing something wrong? But sometimes people will not support you because that feeling of failure is projecting. You know, they don't want to emphasize what the next person has going on because they may feel small about what they have going on in their own personal lives. So that's just something else that I had to take in. And I had to realize, you know, you're going to lose friends along the journey. You're going to lose family. You're going to lose people that you thought would have always been there your entire life. But this is just something that you just have to be willing to allow to happen, man. Because, you know, we all got a purpose and we can't let nobody hold us back or nothing stop us from reaching that purpose. So whoever got to go, they got to go. For sure. I thank God that I never was the type to struggle with accountability, though. That's huge. If you can't take accountability, it's going to be a tough one for you. It's crazy. And on top of that, life's just way too good. Like, life's just way too good to just not see it for what it is. You're in control. Like, we have the ability to wake up and do whatever it is that we want. If you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure none of y'all is in jail. None of y'all are in prison, or we all have free will is what I'm saying. So just the fact that you can wake up and do something different, you can make a conscious decision that changes your entire life. That just blows my mind. I'll never understand that, man. Happiness is a choice. Success, wealth, all of those things is a choice. You just have to make a conscious decision. If that's what you want, if you want to be happy, if you want to be rich, if you want to be wealthy, if you want to be somebody that's mentally stable, and that it's just a choice that you have to make. It's nothing more than that. Dr. S. Educate and Motivate said, not everybody is going to be happy for you. Even family can be jealous of you. Some people only support you at their level, but when you begin to rise above that level, folks get envious. That's real. Exactly. And I'm telling you, and I had a similar situation like that. And for me, man, like, that really broke my heart because I got like a very, very small circle. So when I realized that people that I loved was acting that way towards me, especially when my intentions were nothing but pure, it really does break you down. But you realize that you have to keep going and you can't stop for anybody. You know, if you're watching this right now, Marcos, Strawberry Polka Dot, anybody, y'all keep going. Do not let anybody slow you down at all. You know, you got to stay locked in. You got to stay grinding and focused on your purpose because, you know, the friends that you have around you, they not always friends. I made a video about this before. The people that's clapping aren't always supporting you. What's going on, Liam? What's going on, my boy? Marco said, when you start to think for yourself and stop chasing after others, along with accountability, individuals will start distancing themselves. But I believe in showing love from a distance and forgiving. Yeah, that's real. You definitely You definitely can show your love from a distance and forgive. I agree with that. That was tough for me. I had a hard time forgiving when I was growing up. I used to think that once somebody did me wrong, that it would always be that way. But the way that I like to look at it now is I put myself in their shoes. Would I want to be forgiven if I made a mistake? And the truth is, yeah, of course. I would definitely want to be forgiven. Nobody is bigger than this life we're all living. We're all human beings. So, take that as what it is. And no matter who we are or who you are going to make a mistake. And at some point, you're going to want to be forgiven. Dr. S. Educate said, when I don't accept accountability, I can't blame others for things I don't feel I can accomplish of my failures. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm telling you, that's probably one of the biggest things, as a grown man, and I'm pretty sure y'all can relate for the women in here, once you can take accountability, your entire life will change. You'll be way more happier because you're not looking at external things to blame. You'll find that sense of peace within yourself. You'll be okay with certain flaws that you have, learning acceptance. Accountability is huge. Accountability is huge, man. I just feel like a lot of people, man, we just get so comfortable complicating life. Life is not complicated. Life is just, bro, life is only as complicated as you make it. I live a very simple life. I got a video dropping and probably I'll drop it tomorrow. And I have not worked a job since I've gotten out of the military pretty much. And, it's just, I try to simplify my life. I don't need nice luxury cars. Of course, I got a nice car though. I got a Tesla for y'all who know the Teslas, but life is much bigger than materialistic items. So, I definitely try to simplify everything and learn to value and appreciate the things that I have, because I'm somebody that comes from absolute nothing. I come from sleeping on the floor and not having food to eat and not having money, and family is constantly struggling and stuff like that. So, that's just my background. And Dr. S. Educate said, facts, you stop blaming and use setbacks as learning lessons. Exactly. But what a lot of people do is they get put in that position where they may fail or they may go through something and they start pointing the finger. They start deflecting. They start blaming everything and everyone else outside of themselves. And I've gotten to the point in my life where even if I can blame the next person and I'm so serious, I still take accountability for it. Because I cannot change the way the next person move, or I cannot change how they think and how they process certain things. Who's going to say that they're going to move better in the future? I have no control over that. But I do have control over me in the way that I choose to react. And me taking accountability ultimately is going to put me in a better position no matter what. So I'll bear the extra weight. I'll bear the weight, man. If it's going to help me grow, if it's going to help me elevate, I do it. I'm not looking to blame nobody. I'm not looking for no sympathy. I don't need no handouts. I don't need nothing from nobody. I'm going to take accountability and take responsibility for my life. Why? Because this is my life. It's really just that simple. And I really do respect people that can look at themselves in the mirror and really take full accountability. It's hard. I know people that are 30 years, 40 years old that still can't take accountability for their life today. So, yeah, see, and Marco said, thank you for your service. You already know, bro. I just went in, did what I had to do, sacrificed them a little bit of years so that I can do other things, So you just got to do what you got to do. Dr. S. Educate and motivate. Okay, I went through a similar upbringing to what you went through, not having. I was financially poor but mentally rich. Exactly. And I'm a firm believer that tough times, as long as you can think outside of what you have going on at that very moment, they do way more for you in the long run than anything else. A lot of people just view it as a negative thing. They view it as harmful. They view it as, you just going through so much and life is just so rough. But, I've learned things from those nights struggling. I've learned things from them hard times. and not having food to eat, you know, crying and going through what I was going through. And I wouldn't change anything that I went through for nothing. So, for sure. Marco said, I respect individuals who put their freedom on the line to serve for the military. Those who join the military deserve a lot of respect. Yeah, I 100% agree, Marco. It's like, it definitely is not an easy thing. It's just, it has to be something that you're willing to do. Like, when I went in there, you know, I had my mind set on where I wanted to be in the future, and I had a game plan, and I thank God that he opened them doors for me, because, you know, it definitely worked out for me. That's why I'm saying it doesn't matter what you do, you got to be able to see it through. You got to be able to have that vision. You know, that's one thing you need in life. You don't have to have the most money. You don't have to be the strongest. You don't have to be the biggest or the smartest, but you need a vision. I promise you guys, ever since a little kid, a child, 10, 11, 9 years old, I always had a vision. My mind was always on bigger. It was always on better. It was always on the things that I should be or could be doing to grow and expand. And that's really what opened so many different doors for me, because you can go through something at any given moment. But if you have vision and you're able to see it through, your mind is set forth on where you're going and what direction you're headed in. You're not focused on the hard times that you're going through at this very moment. And Dr. S. Educate and Motivate said, age doesn't bring maturity, experience, and learning. It can help you develop maturity. Exactly. That's why I have the utmost respect for my elders. Any type of older person, grandparents, granddad, grandma, uncle, whatever you may be, it's nothing but respect, because, you know, I believe that with age comes more wisdom and experience. And, you know, they can share certain things that you've never been through, or you may not have never witnessed, that puts you in a totally complete different headspace, so that you can learn and you can grow. So I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree. Yeah, man. I wish other people understood that, though. I really do wish people understood that, you know, just because you're a certain age doesn't mean that you've reached that certain point mentally. A lot of people do have that sense of wisdom, but man, my dog Liam said, last 2 weeks I've been my biggest enemy, for real. Like, I don't have the same energies and discipline as before. I'm trying to make it in the music industry, and I'm starting to have rappers paying to get my beats, but I don't have any motivation to send them, make more beats, really just grinding like I used to. You got any advice? Liam, yeah. And I've been seeing it, bro. I've been seeing you grinding. And this is what you got to understand. First and foremost, you're at the very beginning stages of your entire journey. You're probably going to lack support. You're probably going to lack energy. You're probably going to lack confidence, bro. But when you have that vision, when you have your mind set on where you want to be, you got to realize you are not going to be in that position forever. Like, this, what you're going through right now, and the way that you're feeling is nothing more than a feeling. And what do we know? We know that feelings change. I said this before in one of my videos, bro. You have over 300 feelings and emotions that you experience each day. So therefore, the fact that that changes so much, we cannot allow that to be the driving force behind whether or not we continue to do something or not. You just got to keep going. You got to see it through. Even if nobody buy your beats right now, even if you do it for a year and nobody buys it, you know what I'm saying? If it's your purpose, if it's something that you genuinely want to do, you can't let anything at all discourage you. Nothing. So ask yourself, is this what you really want to do with your life? And once you make up your mind and you say that's what I really want to do, then at that point it's up to you to just keep doing it until it crack open. That's really it. It's up to you to keep going. It's up to you to keep striving. Support, all of that stuff's going to come later down the line. Don't worry about how many people share it. Don't worry about how many people like it. But each and every day that you show up for yourself is another day that counts. Whether you realize it or not, it counts. And I want you to understand that. Geography Ali, keep grinding, bro. Been watching since you had and like 10 followers. Yeah, exactly. See, he said he been watching since I had like 10 subscribers or something like that. So you see it day in and day out, just the same entire concept. And y'all know that I'm nowhere near where I feel like I deserve to be. But the fact that I know I'm not gonna quit, even with 5, 6 people watching this live, I'm gonna keep going no matter what, because I still do this when I have one person on the live or when it's 2 people on the live. That's when you make your mind up and you tell yourself, I'm not going to stop no matter what. It doesn't matter how many bumps in the road that I hit. It doesn't matter how many times I fail. It doesn't matter how many times it takes me hours to edit and post a video for it to get 20 views. That is not stopping me. Nothing is going to stop me. Dr. S. Educate and Motivate said, with regards to friends and true friendship, my grandmother always told me you would always be able to count your true friends on one hand and you won't need all of your fingers. I love that. I definitely love that, man. Very, very wise words. And I agree. I'm 25 and I definitely can count all my friends on one hand and I don't need all my fingers. So I 100% agree with that. My boy Liam said, I start dating a new girl and I'm sure that it is making me stay in my comfort zone for real. And I think I should start dating for a couple months and just focus on myself. I assure him that's what I want to do. Bet I'm going to keep my head down and keep grinding. And hey, Liam, if you still in here, this is another thing you have to realize too, is that you still need a life. Like, you still need a life outside of grind. All this is about is balance. That's it. Once you can get yourself to that point mentally, where you're mentally stable, where you can balance making beats, your relationship, and A, B, and C, then you're fine. Are women always going to take away from your purpose? It just depends what type of relationship that you have. But more importantly, you should be focusing more on balance. You don't want to just cut everything and everyone off in your life. If you feel like you need to do that, then it's cool. But one thing that really helped me was just learning how to have that sense of balance mentally. It always starts here, though. It starts in your mind. And then everything starts to transcend into your reality. So if you're not feeling it mentally, then this is what your life's going to be a reflection of. So, yeah, bro. It's not wrong with locking in. It's not wrong with getting yourself back right. But as far as the music thing, make sure that's something that you want to do. And it's just about balance. That's it. Because you're a young person too, bro. You're probably what, like 21, 22, maybe 23 most. So, you know, you still want to live. You still want to enjoy yourself. You still want to have fun from time to time, of course. But just like me, I reached a point where I just have that balance. Oh, damn. Yeah, see? You're 19. So, yeah, bro, I'm like 6 years older than you, bro. So, especially for your age, for you to be even thinking like that is crazy. A lot of 19-year-olds that I know are nowhere near that point where they're that conscious of what they have going on and just trying to figure everything out. All you just need is a little bit of balance, and as time goes on, it'll come with maturity, it'll come with growth, it'll come with you just being consistent. But right now, you starting at 19, bro, when you hit 22, 23, you're going to look back and see how far you made it, and you're going to be like, I thank God that I started early. I thank God that I had my priorities aligned, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. But I was just like you. At 19, I had that same type of mindset. I was just working. That was around the time where I was getting ready to go to the military. So, you know, I was just grinding for sure. But it doesn't matter what it is that you do. You got to show up for yourself every day. That's really just the most important part. You know, I don't feel like waking up and going to the gym every day. Sometimes I go to the gym and I do the bare minimum, but it's just the very fact that I show up. Dr. S. Educate said, Liam, very few people see the struggle, but many want to be a part of it. And that's another thing, too, that really does bother me. Like, so many people will witness you day in and day out working so hard and not say anything. But the moment that you even get a peek at success, The moment once you really even get a little bit of recognition, that's when everybody's going to show support. And it's just going to be up to you whether or not you allow them in your life. But one thing that I've learned from that, man, and I'm gonna share y'all a little bit of my personal business real quick. But when I first started my clothing brand, I have like a small circle, a small group, but I have like 2 friends, and pretty much none of these friends they never shared, they didn't even follow my clothing brand page up until I had maybe over 1,000 followers on it. And I was thinking unconscious or in my head, like, why do they want to support me now that I've kind of grown a little bit, or they see that it's popular to show that support? And what I've learned and what I've gotten down to the bottom of is just people are only going to support you when it's popular too. When they see that everyone else is doing it, and that's how you find out who your real friends are. Think about people that support you when you don't have nobody supporting you or when it's not cool to do so. And that's just going to show you everything that you need. Dr. S, Educate and Motivate. He said, Tay, when did you establish this mindset? Was it the military or or a set of events or events that help craft the wisdom you're sharing? To be honest, and I'm going to just keep it all the way real, I've been like this my entire life. I've always been, I'll just say odd. Like I've always kind of been that oddball type of child. I was in middle school, 6th grade, waking up at 5 a.m. running miles because I wanted to go to the NBA. I was that kind of kid, you know what I'm saying? So I've always just had that sense of discipline, and my mind was always ahead of where I was at, whether it was age or anything. So I've definitely always just had that work ethic. I've always had that sense of drive based on, I'm guessing it was the way that I was raised. I was in poverty. I was broke. I was hungry. So I was definitely waking up, striving, and doing everything in my power to change the course of my entire life. So as time went on, as you go through a lot of pain, as you experience a lot of hurt, you know, my mind is on everything else. I'm learning as I go on. I'm trying to put the pieces together, and they just crafted me into the person that I am today. And, you know, I just thank God. I thank God for it. Dr. S. Educate said, bro, I started a t-shirt business with 2 friends in college, and well, it didn't work out. We'll explain that another time. See, exactly. And the fact that it didn't work out, that doesn't even matter. It's the fact that you went through that certain experience and you gained some wisdom from it. For y'all who can look at my clothing brand, it is not successful. It's more of a hobby. But I've learned so much along the process about friendships, about people who support you and who don't support you. And not only that, but just the business aspect of it. Like, those are things that you can't take away. Sometimes when we get into new career fields or we start setting our mind on certain things that we want to do, we focus on that specific thing. We don't think about the 10 different lessons that we're learning surrounding that entire project. And that really is what opened my eyes to trying new things. That's what opened my eyes to just growth in general, because, you know, you may think that you're learning one specific thing, but there's a much bigger picture going on surrounding the entire topic or whatever it may be. So you just got to trust the process. I'm one of those people that believe there's good in everything, even the worst things that could possibly happen in your life. It's just all about your perception and how you choose to take it in, you know? That's really it. Just think about it. You know, I can step outside right now, and let's just say it can be raining, for example. And I can be like, oh, it's raining, man. This is terrible. And it could be a homeless person outside. I don't know why I thought of this as random, but it could be a homeless person who hasn't showered in weeks, and he been praying for rain. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, we got to start thinking about the good in everything that we experience. And even if it may not necessarily benefit us in that moment, it may benefit somebody else. And there's definitely lessons that we can take from everything that we experience and go through. Dr. S. Educate and Motivate said, yes, that experience taught me about wishing versus really earning success. It also taught me about friendship. See, exactly. So it's really not even about the fact that, you know, the t-shirt business wasn't successful, because in reality, it definitely was successful based on what you just told me here. And I just feel like that's just really how life works. I feel like that's exactly how life works. It's so easy to view something as negative. It's so easy to view something as just not the best if it doesn't turn out how we imagined it to turn out. But oftentimes those things that didn't turn out the way that we wanted them to still teach us valuable lessons. And that's just something we just have to be aware of and really take into account. Truthfully, we're in control of everything. Dr. S. Educate said, it's true, your chaos, struggle, or unfortunate circumstances is somebody else's blessings. Exactly. Exactly. Somebody else's blessings. I know that's right. That's why I embrace it all. I embrace it all, on the good days, on the bad days, the sad days, the hard days, the days where I've been working real hard to post these videos. And for a lot of y'all who've been watching, y'all know that my videos have been doing pretty bad lately. Like, I don't know what it is, but they've been getting like 20, 30, 40 views sometimes. But 5 months ago, videos was getting thousands of views. So it's little things like that. You may not even see it through. You may not understand what's going on. But that's why you got to have that vision. You got to have that vision and that drive to really just keep going. There's going to be so many different things that can knock you off track or to just kind of mess with you mentally. You got to be mentally grounded throughout this life. Not only for yourself, but just those that you have around you. Because believe it or not, being mentally grounded to me is contagious. Like, if you're in a friend group and you're a very strong-minded type of person, those around you will start to adapt and move similar to you. You know, you are who you hang around, in a sense. So once people see that in you, like, it's different. It's definitely a different type of feeling. Go ahead, Marcos. Go ahead. Marco said, quick question, people of faith, of the faith. Oh, and another thing too, this is just a side note, but whenever y'all do see my videos go up, I need y'all on there commenting. I need y'all liking. I need y'all really showing that support, because that's the only way that they gonna push them out to more people. I know y'all want to see me grow too, so I need y'all liking, commenting on every video. Even if you gotta go in just to comment real quick, watch a minute of it. I appreciate any type of support, man. I really do. Marco said, in these end times, do y'all believe in angelic and demonic spirits roaming the earth and influencing people? Hey, that is a very good point. And before I give my insight on it, I want y'all watching this to get y'all opinion on it real quick. Everybody look at Marco's question and give y'all insights on it. Dr. S. Educated Motivate said, there is good and evil in this world, good and bad spirits. I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree. One thing I will say is that, yeah, I agree with that. Strawberry Polka Dot said, yes, it's happening now. The world is so wicked. I 100% agree with that. Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people are influenced by just negative energy and negative spirits in general. And me personally, for a lot of y'all who can relate, especially being young, like, there's like lust demons. Like, you can be entertaining like a spirit of lustfulness, and that can take over you. Like, that was one of my major problems growing up, is just allowing lust to get the best of me, allowing that form of just being active and indulging with random people. Like, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Yeah, and I learned so much from going through that. Energy is real. Energy is real. When you're out here dealing with so many different people, the way that I like to look at it, you're just transferring so many different energies around. Like, you get to a point where you don't even recognize yourself anymore. You get to a point where you may not even know who you are because you've just been entertaining this spirit of lustfulness. Like, I really had to do some deep work to really figure out why it is that I was going through what I was going through back then. And Dr. S. Educate and Motivate said, honestly, that's why you got to stay in faith and stay praying up. Exactly. You got to 100%. That's why I'm so blessed that I've always been deep rooted in faith. Like, even along my journey, whether I went through hard times, whether I was sinning or whatever it is that I was doing, I've always had that burning desire to grow closer to God, or to always put or keep God present in my life. And that's really the key thing. You just always have to know where home is. As human beings, you're going to make mistakes. You know, nobody is just never going to sin again. It's not about not sinning again. It's just about minimizing and limiting that form of exposure to sin. Really working towards growing each and every day. So these days, I don't even try to be perfect. I just try to show up more times than not. I try to do what I'm supposed to more times than not. I try to make sure that, you know, I'm staying spiritually rooted in the things that I need to stay spiritually rooted to. And I'm just focusing on what matters to me, you know, my morals and my principles and my values. And I've just found so much peace recently in my life. Like, even when I started this channel a year ago, I wasn't at peace how I am now. Like, I'm in a totally different headspace. I've grown so much and elevated and put myself in so many different positions where I've learned through heartbreak, through spiritual lessons, through everything, man. Like, it's just a blessing what taking accountability can do for you, to tie that back in. Not blaming people for where you're at in life. That's really all it's about, man. But how everybody life going? Y'all working? What y'all building on right now? How work going for everybody? How's everybody's life looking? Y'all striving? Y'all working towards something? What's going on? I want to hear about y'all for a little bit. Whether it's career-wise, whether it's love-wise, whether it's, you know, future and what you got planned for yourself. I know my boy Liam is working on his music. As long as you stay consistent and at it, I already know that you got the potential to be great. You're 19 years old and you building. And that's really what it's about. That's really what it's about. Nah, you already know, man. You already know, Liam. I forgot you was 19. I feel like I've been doing this YouTube thing for a decade. So I forgot you was 19, man. But yeah, bro. For a 19-year-old, you're the only 19-year-old that I know thinking like that. I'll tell you that. Strawberry Polka Dot, I still work from home, going to start working towards being my own boss. Yeah, exactly. Like, entrepreneurship, it seems like is definitely one of the ways to go. But if you working from home, then that's a W-2. So that's tough. You know, I never had a work from home job, but it seemed like a W. It seemed cool. Liam said, I'm talking to this girl right now, but she got too much red flags. See? And the thing is, you're going to get to the point where when you mature and you grow up a little bit, and then you're going to realize that your peace is more important than anything. And I was just like that. I used to deal with women that had so many red flags, but I realized that, man, I got to start putting myself first. I got to realize that, if this woman is not helping building me up, if she's not helping me grow, then what does she need to be here for? For comfort? Just so I can sleep around with her? There's much more to life than that. There's much more to life. You better start listening to them red flags, Liam, for you be somewhere heartbroken. But it happens to all of us, bro. It happens to all of us. Even me now, I'm not perfect. I still make my mistakes, but more importantly, being at peace is a real thing. I watched this one YouTuber, his name is King Dre, and when he gave me this analogy, it changed my mind on a lot as far as dating. But he said that whenever you're arguing with a girl or whenever she has you emotionally, like, let's just say timid, go and check your blood pressure, and that's going to change everything. And I did that one day, and I promise you my blood pressure was elevated. And I was like, what? Like, after an argument, she made me feel like that, got me to that state mentally. And then I just realized that sometimes silence is your strongest boundary. You can't keep explaining everything to everybody. Some people do not listen to words. They need more actions, and you can't blame them. Yeah, Liam said, yeah, there is more than just sex. Yeah, when you're young, everybody just wants to, do what they want to do. You still learning, you still growing, you still exploring your options. Majority of people probably still in a prime, so it's like, why not? And that's fine. But you have to reach a point where you decide to elevate. Like, you have to reach a point where you start putting yourself first. All of that, just having sex stuff, all of that laying up every night, smoking and drinking, there's much more to life than stuff like that. Dr. S. Educate and Motivate said, Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. That's a W one, man. I like that. I'll probably do a video on that. But when people show you who they are, believe them. One of my biggest problems was I used to try to mold and change people into the version that I wish that they would be. Or I would judge them based off potential. Judge people based on exactly what they are showing you in that very moment. Don't give nobody the benefit of the doubt. Do not think about what they tell you and the words that they're using, because some people are just manipulative. Some people are better with words. But a lot of this just does not add up. You got to judge people based on exactly what they're showing you. People are going to show you who they are. It's up to you to believe them. And if you're going to sacrifice your peace and your overall well-being, then you just have to know the consequences of it. You rather be comfortable, you rather have somebody to have sex with on a daily basis than be at peace, or to really strive and be building your life up, it's not worth it. But one thing I don't want you to feel like is you're behind. I want you to know that you're very ahead, because at 19, I definitely wasn't thinking like that. I was aware, but I wasn't really acknowledging the fact that it was an actual problem. We just need to be with people that are actually aligned with us and with our soul and the things that, we have going on. Compatibility is real. Oftentimes people get in these relationships and they start trying to mold the next person into something and build them up into what they believe that they're capable of becoming. But no, you cannot build nobody up. It's not a Rubik's Cube where you can just mold and change and shift people into the version that you want them to be. People are grown adults. They have to do that themselves. And I promise you, it is not going to be done by you telling a person to act or be a certain way. I spent years yelling, arguing with this woman, telling her right from wrong, telling her how she should move, telling her my boundaries and all these other things, all for her to not even respect any of it. You know why? Because if somebody sees that you don't value and respect yourself enough to walk away, even at moments like that, then they'll never respect you. They'll know better, 100%. But if you don't have the strength, the courage to walk away, It doesn't matter what you say to that person. Walking away is the only thing that will keep anybody in line. Silence. Not you explaining yourself. Not you sending goodbye messages as if you're going to change or, oh, talk to me when you grow up. None of that is going to work. The only thing that people learn from is actions. That's it. When they see that you're walking away, when they see that you're gone, when they see that they don't have that access to you, it's it. I've been on this earth 25 years, almost 26, and I still haven't met a person that listened to me explain my feelings and, my emotions and actually took that in and then changed. No, you don't force nobody to change. You don't kind of like persuade them or lean them towards it. They have to want to do it themselves. It's not going to take you doing the most. I know that. Oh, and this one thing I do want to share with you, Liam, if you're still in here, and I just learned this recently. As a man, I'm very ambitious and goal driven, right? I believe that the more work that you put towards something, the more valuable it is. So as you work and you build in your life, that's what I imagine value to be. So I've allowed this concept to transcend into my relationships. So unconsciously, I didn't know that I was going into these relationships thinking that, okay, if we can get through A, B, and C hardship together, if we can get through all these arguments and all these hard times, then it must be worthwhile because we were able to overcome this together. And that's not how love is. That is not how love should be. Love should bring you peace. Love should bring you clarity. And love is kind. Love is easy. Love is free flowing. If it does not feel like that, if it feels like something that you're trying to force, if it doesn't bring you that true peace within, then it's not where you should be. Dr. S. Educate and Motivate said, true. Yeah, that's real. Liam said, this is how I'm thinking right now, not gonna lie. But that's true. I see your point. Yeah. And you're probably similar. I'm pretty sure we got similar type of mindset. So you gotta just put yourself first, At the end of the day, you gotta be at peace. There's people out here that are going to love you the way that you want to be loved. None of it should be forced. You see the red flags. You're just comfortable. You probably love her. You care about her. You sleep with her every other day. So that's just where your heart's at. That's where your emotions at. And that's fine, But the thing is, even if you are going to go through it and continue to be with her, just make sure you're conscious and taking all of this in. You don't want to have to repeat yourself in the future. So as long as you're learning and you're really seeing it for what it is, then that's going to make the biggest difference. Because when I was your age going through that, I was just allowing it to happen, not being aware of what was really going on, not necessarily knowing what problems existed, just trying to force certain things. That's why it took me so much longer to learn from it. And he said, bro, the relationship is long distance. It's making it harder. See, that's even crazier. Like, so you just stressing, really. It just sounds like extra weight. And he said, I've never been in a relationship that is not long distance. See? Bro, it's hard to walk away from people that you love. It is. Like, I'm telling you, it's hard. So, but one day you're going to have to put yourself first. Either that or she's going to decide to put herself first before you do. And then you're going to feel like, man, I should have just put myself first because she did it. That's literally how it works. If you don't love yourself and respect yourself enough to do it, at some point, she's going to do the exact same thing. She's going to be like, well, this is kind of far. Somebody's in my face right now showing me the love and attention I need. Okay, let me take this. She's going to put herself first. And you're going to have to live with whatever it is that she have going on and accept it. Because now, that's just the cards that you were dealt. But But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up, man. I appreciate you, Liam. I appreciate you, Dr. S, Educate and Motivate. I appreciate you, Strawberry Polka Dot. I appreciate you, Marcus. Who else was in here? Geography Ali. Everybody that joined the live, man, I love y'all. We a family, and I really do appreciate the support. I'm glad that everybody tuned in for this live. If y'all tuned in like this every time, man, I'll probably go live every other day. So, man, I appreciate y'all so much. But let me read Liam's comment and then I'm gonna get out of here. But he said you need to drop new merch and make new stock because your brand is crazy. I need me a couple t-shirts for real. Oh yeah, bro, don't even worry about it. I still got some merch that's not on the website, bro. Just shoot me your information or whatever. I'll send you. I'll send you some for free. Don't even worry about it. Great talk, Educate. I appreciate you. When are the lives? Lately, they've just been random. They've just been random lately, but it definitely will be around this time. It definitely will be around this time. So maybe like 6 when I started, 6:15 Pacific time. So, you know, I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed night. And I'll see y'all on the next live. It'll probably be sometime next week just to let y'all know, just to give y'all a heads up. But y'all have a blessed night, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all tune in, tap into my other videos, man. I need y'all to get somewhere, you know? So I'll see y'all on the next one.